what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and tonight I'm going to be talking about a great animated film that I saw recently as part of our Black Excellence Month. Because during the month of February, I like to talk about a lot of films and TV shows that I consider to be part of Black Excellence. Over on Instagram, I'll talk about a short film from Pixar. And I also earlier today I talked about another TV series that's on Amazon. If y'all want to know exactly what those are, make sure you go over to the Instagram, follow us, and check out those mini reviews. And recently over here on the YouTube channel, I talked about a movie called Landscape with Invisible Hands. And tonight I'll be talking to you about the film that I mentioned earlier called Craig Before the Creek. Before I get into it any further, I want to remind you guys, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media. Like I said, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, where we do the podcast, Life BrickWall, and I do some gaming over there. And this Sunday, at the time of this recording, I will be I will be live streaming the Super Bowl Sunday. I'll be doing a live stream, watching the Super Bowl, reacting to commercials, talking about the halftime show, and I have some people come through and kick it with me while we go ahead and watch the bowl, just have a good time, be a little turned or whatnot. It's going to be something casual. First time doing like a live stream, something like this, so hopefully it all goes smooth. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited, and I would really love if you guys come and turn up with me. And hey, maybe you can even come up on screen and appear, and we can, chit-chat, hang out, watch the game together, virtually, all that good stuff. I love it. So make sure you pop by, follow on Twitch. But all that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get into this movie news. Movie review. So let's get into it. So, Craig Before the Creek. This is a prequel movie to the hit Cartoon Network series. To the hit Cartoon Network series called Craig of the Creek. For those of you who don't know, Craig of the Creek is a series about a young African-American boy named Craig. Yes, I did specify he's African-American. Don't ask why, but you already know. Black History Month. Come on now, Black History. But it's about a young man named Craig who has these adventures with his two friends, Kelsey and, oh, good Lord, I always forget the other kid's name. I know one of them is Kelsey, and the other one's name is, I cannot find, JP. Yeah, Kelsey and KP. And JP, Kelsey and JP. And they have all these different adventures at the creek, from figuring out how to trade certain items to figuring out how to, make it through a dodgeball game and all different types of stuff. It's a very interesting show. I kind of related a little bit to like Kids Next Door, but a little less elaborate in the way of all the extra spy stuff, but also just like in that same vein where it's like the overactive imagination, like this is dead serious, like this is what we're going through, but at the same time, like, you goofy kids, this isn't nothing. It's a very interesting show. I really do love it. It always has like a star-studded cast. It has Phil Lamar, Terry Crews, who plays the mom, Kimberly Herbert Gregory. He had guest stars on there like Lil Rel. Man, you got mad people. This is mad people on the show. Like it's a lot of people on the show that have made appearances on the show just as part of Craig's family, and just just like in general. Like I could go and look at the list of characters and see the guest spots that have appeared, but this isn't about the show. This is about the movie. And so this movie, Craig Before the Creek, like I said, it's a prequel movie. So it pretty much shows how Craig came to be part of the neighborhood that, has the creek, how he came to be part of the creek, how he met Kelsey and JP, his first big adventure in the creek. It's so much. It's just that, it's a prequel movie. And this is really, really good. I really do enjoy it. I am midway through my second watch, and I'm gonna watch it a third time as well, just because I know there are things I missed. Because the first time I watched it, I caught the first half, but then stopped paying attention for the second half. This time I watched it, I wasn't paying attention for the first half, but caught it more on the second half. This is a really good movie. This is a movie that I really wish could have been released theatrically, because the animation on this movie is just beautiful. Like they went hard like they were making a theatrical film. And that's what I love about this, just off rip, is just the look of it. Craig of the Creek is already a really well animated show. I do like the character designs. I like how they frame certain shots, like, because like I said, like things are over dramatic. Like it was one episode of Craig of the Creek. I was trying to remember what this episode was. And they were playing Foursquare, and that game of Foursquare got so intense. And there was another episode where they were doing like the Jinx. So like when you play Jinx as a kid, it's like if you say the same thing at the same time as somebody else, then it's Jinx. You can't speak again until somebody else says your name or something like that. So it was episodes like that. Episodes where like they were pretending to be horses, and they're pretending to be other things, and it's just like for them it's so real because they're kids, it's their imagination, is what they live in. And it's like the creek is like its own little society, right? So it's like, like I said, you have your trader who's like, okay, you give me snacks and I'll give you this thing. You give me the choco rolls, I'll give you lollipops, or I'll give you access to this book, or I'll give you this free pass for you to go ahead and be the first one on the swings in the playground. They have like a lore, like the show has lore to it. Like, oh, who was the first kid to do this? We got to find out who this kid was and why he did this, and how we can emulate and how we can be just like him, or how we can take over the creek like this. And oh wow, the older kids are doing this with these cards, and if we can go find this super rare trading card, we could be the most popular kid in the creek. Or I have a crazy haircut, I can't come in here because then everyone's gonna joke on me, and then I'll never be able to show my face in this society. Like, it's its own thing. Like, I know I'm saying a lot, and I give you all of that basis for it because part of what this movie does, and I wasn't like really into the show, like really deep into the show. I was like really like very casual viewer. But what this movie does is that it gives origin of like this map that goes to in the book. Matter of fact, the Book of the Creek. I believe that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? The Book of the Creek or something like that? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what that thing is called. But it's like a book that they have that like has like a map of the creek and all the type of stuff in there, like all the information about the creek, like the past history and the, everything up to that point. And Craig is like the bookkeeper from what I remember in the show. So this is like the origin of the book, I believe. And it kind of shows like the first person who had that book and where she hid it and how she hid it inside of Craig's house when he moved in there and he found the book. And like there was like this wishing star that they could find, and they could the wishing star will grant you one wish. And you would think like, oh, it's just a cute little thing, but like no, like I really think that this actually had like actual like things were actually really happening. So the one girl who wants to find it, that also wants to find the wishing star, she's a pirate. So they're like, and the pirates have been around since before Craig had moved into the creek. But then when you get the explanation in the movie, it's like, yeah, these kids moved here a couple weeks ago and they started playing pirates. And like, we couldn't do nothing about it because they were real aggressive and we got scared. It's like, it's just funny explanations of that. And it shows, like I said, it shows how they all meet each other. So when Craig first meets Kelsey, Kelsey's like in the series, Kelsey, she's like, oh, I'm an adventurer, I'm gonna be a warrior, I'm gonna be one of the greatest warriors ever, and she has a little bird with her. And in the movie, it kind of shows like how Craig met her and who she was. Like she's pretty much the same person, but she was more like a mercenary for hire type thing, right? Merc for hire type thing, right? And that's pretty funny. And then JP was part of the pirate crew, but he always felt like he didn't fit in with them. And just kind of seeing how he went from being to the pirates to just building that friendship and that bond with Craig, and and seeing the origin of Craig's staff that he uses in the show and all different types of stuff. It's just really, really interesting. It's really an adorable show. I do enjoy, like I said, I do enjoy the show, and I did enjoy the movie. So like I said, Craig is after this wishing star so he can make the wish to go back to his hometown, because if I didn't mention this already, Craig just moved to this town in this movie, and he misses his friends. He's homesick. He misses his friends. He misses his old environment and everything. And so like his wish that he'll make, like I said already, is that he can just go home, be with his friends, and just have his life resume as normal. But of course, throughout the course of the movie, you see that he comes to actually like the creek. He likes the new friends he made, and he developed these bonds with them, and the bonds that if you watch the show, you already know course he's gonna stay in the creek. That's what the show is about. But it's very, like I said, this movie is very, very good. And what I like about this movie is that it doesn't just have like a TV movie quality thing, right? Cartoon Network original movies are always most of them, if not all of them, all really are really good for having this theatrical quality to it, right? Like I watched this movie and I think back to the Kids Next Door movie where it was just this big event and it was just like larger than life. And I was like, wow, this is such a grand scale movie for it to be on TV. This should be in the theaters. And like I mentioned earlier with this Craig Before the Creek, the animation, the shading, the you know, some of the movement, some of the fluidity, it's like, yo, how did Teen Titans Go get to the movies, but this didn't? But then I remember we're talking about Warner Brothers here, who hasn't been making the best decisions, because if it were me, I would have said, yo, this is quality. Let's put this in the movie theaters. Like, this is good. This is quality, to me at least, because it just looks beautiful. And some of the shots are amazing. They do like these 3D incorporated shots. They do a lot of good camera movements, stuff that you don't see in the show and stuff that you will only see in a movie that's intended for a big screen. And I love that about Cartoon Network movies in general. They're always TV movies, but I think only 2 of them made them to the theaters, the Powerpuff Girls and Teen Titans Go. And I'm talking from regular show, K&D, and this one right here, even the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends one. They are all this incredible big budget looking quality films. And I'm watching this again. I'm watching this movie and I'm like, yo, like this would have been great to see, not just from an animation standpoint, but also because, okay, let me put on a corporate hat real quick, right? Let me put on my corporate cape. From a standpoint, this could have been a theatrically released animated film with the main character and his family being African Americans, right? You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm going with this, right? It's a family movie, kids and family movie, right? Based on a popular Cartoon Network show, right? You get what I'm saying here? This movie would have made bank. In my opinion, in my mind, this movie makes bank when it goes to theaters. You know what I'm saying? Because then I take my young daughters to see this. I take my little brothers to see this. You know what I'm saying? People take their nephews to see this. People take their sons to see this. You know what I'm saying? People just go and see this in general. Like, Black people go and say, yo, let's go support this film. This is oh wow, this is cool. Oh wow, it's a show. Like, it brings more attention, more awareness, and more popularity. And I think that this movie does good in the theaters, in the box office. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. I mean, the market is starved for a good kids and family movie right now. Just saying. But that's neither here nor there. So, you know, the movie is like I said, it's a very smart movie. It's very funny. I found myself laughing out loud at a lot of parts, just from facial expressions to certain lines that were said and the way they were delivered. Most of the cast returns for the by with the exception of Terry Crews. Now, Terry Crews played the dad, Craig's dad, in the entire run of the series, but he has been replaced by another actor who will be taking on the role from this point forward. That actor is Byron Mark Newsom. So shout out to him because he does a really good. I thought that was Terry Crews, in all honesty. I thought it was Terry Crews in the movie, but it's not him. So shout out. He's doing a very good, you know, he's coming into this role and he's doing a really good job. You know, this is I mean, I can't praise this movie enough for just being so clever and for being so interesting and so exciting. Just in terms of the pirate plot and just the adventure that happens, because although you do watch this and you say, oh, this is a small scale thing, it's such a big scale adventure, you know? And like I said before, when you watch the series, there are little things like, you know, what was it? Remember in Diary of a Wimpy Kid when they had like a cheese touch or something like that? I remember when we were kids in the playground, you're like, oh, tag, a simple game of tag, right? Will turn into a life-altering thing like whoever wins this game of tag gets to sit on top of the bench for the rest of the week. You know, like they had something like they had a finders keepers episode, right? Like dibs, right? Like, I call dibs on this. Well, you can't call dibs on that. I do. Oh, we have to find a way to stop him from calling dibs on everything. Or this is going to change the structure of the creek forever if they don't figure this out. Oh, I called dibs. I reversed the dibs on you. Now it's serious. Like, they get dead serious, and they do that in this movie. It's so much dead serious things going on. Like, and it's fun to watch. And it's not short of comedy. It's not short of emotional moments. And even though if you're a fan of Craig of the Creek and you've watched every episode and you've seen the character dynamics, you see how the characters grow and they change. I've seen a good portion. I haven't seen every episode, but I would like to believe I've seen a good portion of the show. To when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, wow, it's so nice to see how they started off. And even though I know they're going to end up friends, I'm just like, wow. Like, and it's not like some like crazy like thing that they go through. Like, they still have each other's back through and through, even though they literally just met each other. Like, so it's a really sweet and wholesome show. And it's a really great movie. I do thoroughly enjoy this movie. I think my rating for this would be I think my rating for this will be a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this movie. It was so much fun to watch. It was such a good, it had some really good jokes in there. And honestly, like I said, I am honestly really going to go back and watch this film again. And I might watch it 2 more times just for enjoyment, because it was just that interesting. It really pulled me in. It really gripped me. And I wish I need to sit through it an entire time to really catch it. But I did want to come here and talk about this film because, like, yeah, it's quality. I enjoyed this film. I think this is a really good film. So it's where can you watch this movie? It is available on Max. And I think there's also a DVD or Blu-ray release if you're into physical media still. Hashtag keep physical media alive. It's the only way that will preserve our art cinematically for years to come, so we can pass it down from generation to generation, blah 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 blah. And that's the only way you truly own a movie when you buy it, is if you buy a physical copy, because they can never take that away from you and just sell it. So anyway, that's my tangent there. But yeah, check it out. It's available to stream now on Max. It's called Craig Before the Creek. Make sure you check it out. Show some love to this movie. And make sure you also check out the spinoff of Craig of the Creek called Jessica's Little Big World. Jessica is Craig's little sister. And I forgot, the whole inciting incident of Craig even going to the creek in the first place was because his little sister's toy got taken, and so he went to go get it back, and then that's when the pirates came. And so yeah, so it's a good movie. It's a very good movie. It's fun. It's great. And so yeah, show this movie some love. Make sure you check it out on Max. And if you enjoy that movie, let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more reviews just like this. You know what I'm saying? Keep coming with us. Keep hanging with us for this Black Excellence Month. I got more reviews to go, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about them. Make sure you tune in for my live stream of the Super Bowl this Sunday. But until then, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, be easy, stay breezy. Peace.